First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win and give everyone $1,000 a month. Andrew Yang, ladies and gentlemen, that is what we're talking about today. Hey, what's up, Yang Gang? Welcome to my new channel, Humanity Theory. I had a whole plan on what my first video was going to be, and after last night's debate, I pretty much threw it out the window. I got to give you guys my reaction to this thing. I'm freaking hyped after what Andrew Yang threw down last night. So I've been a part of the Yang Gang since February, right around the Joe Rogan timeline, like most OG Yang Gangers. Anyhow, I think I speak for all of us when I say I've never seen Andrew Yang in the form he was last night. And when I first watched the debate, it was a little shaky because I was just so... My perception of it was a little bit shaky because I was so like, man, he needs to get in there. He needs to fight. And, you know, it's because it's crunch time now, and we all are feeling that pressure. And I know Andrew Yang, he's qualified for the November debates and everything, but we're feeling that pressure that, you know, we have to rise to the occasion. Not just Andrew Yang, but the Yang Gang itself. And, you know, it's go time, man. I was fired up watching the debates. You could ask my wife. I was jumping up and down, freaking out, freaking getting pissed off when politicians were doing their whole freaking bullshit. But Andrew Yang, I rewatched all the parts with Andrew Yang in it. You know, I went back through, and he really freaking brought it, folks. I don't know how I missed it the first time. He brought it, and he brought it in a very Andrew-esque way. You'll see what I mean. I have a few clips I want to share with you guys. All right, so let's start with the first one.
Instead of having to pay 20% of their income for it.
Senator Warren, I've been talking to Americans around...
Look at that. Already. He cut in like a boss. He's not asking. He says, I need to address this. And then he's just going to jump right in and eviscerate Senator Warren.
The country about automation, and they're smart. They see what's happening around them. Their Main Street stores are closing. They see a self-serve kiosk in every McDonald's, every grocery store, every CVS. Driving a truck is the most common job in 29 states, including this one. 3.5 million truck drivers in this country, and my friends in California are piloting self-driving trucks. What is that going to mean for the 3.5 million truckers or the 7 million Americans who work in truck stops, motels, and diners that rely upon the truckers getting out and having a meal? Saying this is a rules problem is ignoring the reality that Americans see around us every single day.
Senator Warren, respond, please.
Did you guys catch that? He freaking destroyed her with facts and data. She has absolutely no response if you're watching her facial expressions. It's frustration. She's flustered. She has absolutely no coherent reply. And you're going to see her talk about Social Security, which is a complete... It's tied to UBI in the most flimsy of ways. It's actually pretty hilarious. And then there was another little detail in there that I didn't catch until I watched this clip over and over. Pete Buttigieg chimes in during this little transitionary period between Yang and Warren, and he's saying like, oh yeah, that's exactly right. He is trying to jump on top of this issue and pretend it's his. We have seen him doing this throughout the campaign trail. Pete Buttigieg wants everyone to think that he is the automation candidate because he knows it's a winning issue. Anyhow, let's watch Warren make a fool of herself real quick.
I understand that what we're all looking for is how we strengthen America's middle class. And actually, I think the thing closest to the universal basic income is Social Security. It's one of the reasons that I put forward a plan to extend the solvency of Social Security by decades. It also has a provision for your wife.
Oh, how generous
for
of you.
those who stay home to do caregiving for children or for seniors, and creates an opportunity for them to get credit on their Social Security. So after a lifetime of hard work, people are entitled to retire with dignity.
Look at this face. This is the face of a man who knows you're full of shit.
Thank you, Senator Warren.
I see this as an important question about I want to understand the data on this.
Senator, thank you very much.
We're responding to make this work.
Your time is up. I want to give Congressman.
Ooh, he's got the data. Oh man. So that was an evisceration. It's not so in your face that, you know, you're like, oh snap. It's not a sound bite. It's not a freaking, you know, easily recognizable burn. Because, you know, Warren dances around a little bit, and the whole, Social Security is actually a wonderful way to compensate mothers for their work. Yeah, when they're 65 or older, not when they actually need it, when they're actually raising their kids, when they actually need to afford things for their children to better their lives, better their education. This does nothing. This does nothing for families. This does something for retirees, which I agree is a good thing. And guess what? Andrew Yang's freedom dividend extends to people that are on Social Security. So she has absolutely no legs to stand on. The fact that she's pretending she does is honestly pretty laughable. This is another point where Andrew Yang comes in like a boss, and he doesn't let them shut him up. He doesn't ask for permission to continue speaking. Just watch this.
Breaking up the tech companies does nothing to make our kids healthier. What we have to do is we have to home in on the specific problems we're trying to solve and use 21st century solutions for 21st century problems. Using a 20th century antitrust framework will not work. We need new solutions and a new toolkit. That's the way we can fight.
Now they try to cut away from him. He's not going to let it happen. He's not going to let it happen. He's got more stuff to say.
The best way we can fight back against big tech companies is to say our data is our property. Right now, our data is worth more than oil. How many of you remember getting your data check in the mail? It got lost. It went to Facebook, Amazon, Google. If we say this is our property and we share in the gains, that's the best way we can balance the scales against the big tech companies.
Last week.
Dude, so Andrew Yang has a brilliant policy out there. Data as a property right. And he doesn't get a lot of opportunities to talk about it, especially not on the national stage. Everyone thinks he's a one-issue candidate, all about UBI. While that is his flagship proposal, and that does touch many problem areas in American society, he's got all sorts of innovations across the board. Data as a property right is a great example of that. And he forces it in there. He's like, look, guys, you're going to listen to what I have to say. And it was just awesome. I love this style of Andrew Yang. He's in control. He's in control, and he's showing people that he's a serious contender. This is a side of him we haven't seen, and I strongly feel it's going to continue in an upward trend, just as the entire campaign has, from fundraising to polls to enthusiasm across the board. So this is looking good, guys. This is looking really, really good. And I wanted to share a clip of Zach Groman, his campaign manager, reacting exactly how I was reacting at home, and it just was very cathartic to watch this exchange between him and Andrew. He is just He knows he killed it. He knows that Andrew Yang killed it tonight or last night, and it's gonna show, folks. It's gonna show. I'm pretty confident we're gonna see a 1, 2, or 3% increase in the polls over this exchange, or these series of exchanges between him and Warren, particularly. I think he had a really good response to Bernie Sanders' federal job guarantee as well. Overall, he was just extremely on point, extremely presidential, and he just had an outstanding debate performance, by far his best. We're going to see it reflected in the polls. I'm not sure exactly to what extent, but we all know, maybe we don't all know, this is a good opportunity for me to say, that the polls are not showing Andrew Yang's true support. And I'm going to show you guys a clip here in a minute that is going to back up that claim. But we're seeing a physical manifestation of the enthusiasm on the ground, the motivation on the ground, the energy on the ground for Andrew Yang. And it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. It's never stagnated. It's never slowed down. It's never decreased. It's only ever gone up. And it's only going to keep going up. I'm telling you guys, I'm very, very confident of this. I wanted to share this meme real quick. This made me laugh so freaking hard. This is random Asian man obliterates sitting U.S. senator.
Entitled to retire with dignity.
Thank you, Senator Warren.
I see this as an important question about I want to understand the data on this.
Your time is up. I want
to. Entitled to.
Oh gosh, yeah, she really got wrecked. I think that meme just accentuates it even more. Love it, love it, love it. This is the clip that I was telling you about that really got me pumped up today, the day after the debate. He's on the Wolf Blitzer show on CNN, in the Situation Room. God, they gotta make it sound so cool. It's funny from such a lame dude like Wolf. But yeah, like, we're gonna see Andrew Yang and his mob in the back, his freaking mob in the back, just trying to break down the doors out of just adoration and enthusiasm for this candidacy. Check it out.
It's certainly the case that it's happened in our past, and there's just an acknowledgement of that.
So that's what you were referring to. I just wanted to be precise on that. You got a lot of fans over there. I see in Ohio. You've already cleared.
Oh shit! I don't know if you see it. He's like chanting with them. He is basking in the glory.
Qualified for the next Democratic presidential debate in November. That's going to be in a few weeks. So what are you going to do now to build on your momentum, which is impressive?
Oh yes, it is impressive, Wolf. He struggled to get that sentence out. He can hear the mob behind him. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. So obviously, I'm feeling good, Yang Gang. You all should be too. Be very, very proud of what we've done so far. I mean, Andrew Yang obviously is spearheading this whole thing, and we love him and appreciate the opportunity he's given our country to really talk about these major issues. But think about what happened last night. 6 months ago, we had a situation where people were openly mocking Andrew Yang. They were mocking the idea of UBI. They were mocking the idea of the freedom dividend. And now we just rewind 24 hours. We had a straight up 10+ minute discussion on the merits of UBI, the dangers of automation, the fourth industrial revolution. These are all things that had absolutely no part in the national conversation until just now. And it's all because of Andrew Yang and the Yang Gang. We have fervently supported him in these past 6 months, quietly gathering as many like-minded individuals as we can around us, and we've managed to give him enough support that he is qualified for all of the debates through the end of the year. I'm not sure if they're going to do one in December or not. Most likely not, but he's qualified for all the freaking debates, guys. His voice is in there with the big dogs, and he is proving that it deserves to be there. And we've given him that opportunity. I know I was listening to Paget KG, another brilliant YouTube channel, Yang Gang YouTube channel. She was talking about how you guys got a hashtag trending on Twitter last week, Yang the Mods, and you just basically bombarded them with Yang-centric questions to ask during the debate. And they did it. They did it. Aaron Burnett led the discussion into Andrew Yang's bread and butter. And it was amazing. It was amazing to see. So I think as the Yang Gang, CNN has been so aggravating lately and just kind of despicable with some of the omissions. That's pretty much how they attack Andrew Yang, attack by omission. They just ignore him completely, and it's very, very frustrating. But look, man, I'm willing to forgive CNN for just because of the debate last night. All the damage or lack of growth that they have caused for the Yang campaign, I think they made up for it during that debate. And until they screw up again, I'll leave them alone. I hope we all leave them alone until they inevitably screw up again. But yeah, so be excited, boys and girls. I had a long discussion with my coworkers today, 3 of them to be precise. I yanged the hell out of all of them. Got 3 additional donors. They were all positive towards Andrew Yang. They liked him. They thought he was, obviously had good points, intellectual, honest. He had a very good impression on them, but they all said the same thing. He can't win. Guess what? I convinced him he can win. And he can. He can. The polling numbers are not indicative of his true support. We have stadiums full of young folks chanting his name at rap concerts, the 88 Rising concert a few weeks ago. I mean, you couldn't hear anything but Andrew Yang, Andrew Yang. Just like that mob we saw in that CNN interview, you couldn't, the support was palpable in the atmosphere. It was amazing. And so we know he polls extremely, well, he doesn't poll because they don't poll young people. He is extremely popular amongst young people. Young people love Andrew Yang. And guess who else loves Andrew Yang? And guess who else doesn't get polled? Republicans, conservatives, libertarians. He's peeling off these kinds of voters in a big way. I was a registered independent until like 3 months ago, until I registered Democrat so I can support Andrew Yang in the primaries, in the Nevada caucus in February. And I'm just one guy, but there's thousands of guys just like me, guys and gals just like me. And they're not, I've never got a call from a poll. I don't answer my phone when I don't recognize the number. They are not polling the people who are supporting Andrew Yang. So I have a very strong suspicion, nobody knows anything for certain, but I have a very strong suspicion that Andrew Yang's true support is probably double what the polls show. And the polls are showing him at 4 or 5, sometimes even 6%. Certain states, such as North Carolina and California, have him at 8 and 9%. Those are Super Tuesday states. That's huge. And given my logic, we're looking at 15 to 20% true numbers in certain areas of the country. And it's, like I said, it's going in one direction, boys and girls. It's going in one direction, Yang Gang. Up. So, gosh, just the cherry on top. I got my marijuana math hat today. Super happy to rep it around my community. Definitely going to be doing some canvassing this weekend. And I encourage you guys to do the same. I'm going to try and maybe get some footage of that experience for you guys and share that with you, what it's like to canvass for Andrew Yang. It's an extremely exciting and positive experience. Every time you just start talking to people about issues that they know can revolutionize their personal life. And what other candidate can do that except maybe Bernie Sanders with his Medicare for All, which is, a great policy. But other than that, nobody can revolutionarily affect an average American's life like Andrew Yang can. And it's not hard. It's not hard to show them that. It's not hard. So, yeah, guys, super excited about this debate. I'm super excited about the Yang Gang and Mr. Yang himself entering the fight phase of this campaign. Super pumped. And yeah, we're going to see good things going forward, guys. Stay positive, humanity first, and let's win this thing. All right? Have a great night.